I guess we're on. I can never tell. I can never tell with this camera. What's going on? I mean, it's in and out of focus. I can't tell if it's running. Anyway, it's a disaster. Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Hey, this is my video channel where I review books that I love, and we're going to be reviewing Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. So yeah, I mean, I love Tolstoy. War and Peace. Oh my gosh, War and Peace is one of my favorite books of all time. Probably in my top 10. I reviewed that earlier a few months ago. I will link to that review somewhere here. You'll find it somewhere. It's a great book. Leo Tolstoy, of all of the classic writers, I think I relate to this guy the most. That's why I love his stuff. That's why the first two classic novels that I am reviewing for my channel are Tolstoy novels. So I got these two versions up here, right? I mean, they were written originally in Russian. I don't speak Russian. I don't read it. So these are obviously translations, English translations, each one of them has a different, style to the translation. That's why I don't really like reading a lot of translated books, is because you're really kind of reading the flavor of the translator, not necessarily what Tolstoy was doing. I mean, you're getting the translator's best effort. So this little paperback here, which I think has a pretty good cover. Yeah, I mean, it's not an action-adventure novel. You can tell right off the bat, just from that cover. I mean, this is no Fast and the Furious movies, folks. This is not Fate of the Furious or Fast 5. It ain't that. This is Masterpiece Theater, Anna Karenina, Russian society, 1,200-page novel. And if you thought I was joking, just look at this cover. It's even more less like Fast and the Furious. It's not Hobbs and Shaw. No Vin Diesel in there. No siree. We're talking Russian high society. Grand courtrooms, grand ballrooms, affairs. But it's great. That's great. I love this stuff, Speaking of different versions, I actually listened to the Audible.com version, which was narrated by Maggie Gyllenhaal, who's a great actress, and she does a great job. And what I like to do is I like to follow along. As I'm listening to the narration, I like to follow along in the book to the words. Well, whatever version of Anna Karenina Maggie Gyllenhaal was reading, well, it didn't match this one, and it didn't match that one, so I couldn't follow along for crap. So anyway, keep that in mind. If you ever do read Anna Karenina, each publisher hires a different translator, and it's just, the wording is different. Not that I have any problem with that. It just is what it is. Translations are what they are. Anna Karenina, though, I mean, this book, like War and Peace, if you watched my War and Peace video, this is considered, and I don't necessarily agree, because I think War and Peace is better than Anna Karenina. But Anna Karenina is considered by most literature experts, the literati, all the people that are into literary fiction, all the highbrow Ivy League professor types, they consider Anna Karenina to be the greatest novel ever written. And Leo Tolstoy himself considers it to be his masterpiece, even above War and Peace, which I have over here. I have a couple War and Peaces too, here hanging out in the background. Now, while I think Anna Karenina is a damn fine novel, it ain't no War and Peace. I'll tell you that right now. War and Peace has got everything in it. Action, adventure, drama, everything. Anna Karenina just has the drama. Ain't no action adventure. There ain't no battles, no sword fights. It's just a lot of people sitting around talking and having affairs. which is the plot. It's the basic theme of the book. I mean, the themes of this book, 800 pages, a dozen characters. The main themes are, betrayal, faith, religion, how marriage and affairs and Russian society and city life and farm life all play factors into people's relationships. All of these things are contributing to people's relationships. And this was written in a series of installments for the Russian Messenger, I think the periodical was called, the Russian Messenger, where Tolstoy was doing this in installments from 1973 to 1977. This is like a 4-year period where he was just giving people chunks and chunks and chunks of this sort of soap opera about Russian society, starring Anna Karenina and Count Vronsky, our two main leads. And what happens is, like I said, in War and Peace, Tolstoy, he talks about every subject under the sun. If he's got a thought or theory about anything, he puts it in this book. Similarly, he does the same thing in Anna Karenina, but more so dealing with people's relationships, like I said, as they sort of fit into this Russian society of city life, highbrow city folk, serfdom, and the country farm folk, and the religion and the oppressive government, and how all of these things sort of affect every relationship every single person has. And even though it's set in 1887 and the 1800s, it's all so relatable, so relatable. And the opening sentence, most oft quoted opening sentence of almost any book is, and this is the opening of this book, is happy families are all alike, whereas unhappy families are unhappy in their own way. That sets up the premise of the entire book, because we get to launch ourselves into this Russian society of all these families that just don't get along. I mean, every single person is looking for love in all the wrong places. If they're married, they're certainly not married to the right person, because they all got married for the wrong reasons. And we start out with Stepan Oblonsky and his wife Dari, where Stepan is like openly, he's openly having an affair with his governess, or whatever they call it back then, and his wife knows about it, and they got married for all the wrong reasons. And if you look, and if you just read about their life together and the way they talk to each other, you're like, this is the way that modern couples deal with problems, and it's not healthy. And that's the brilliance of Tolstoy, and the fact that this is such a popular novel is because, God, even 150 years ago, people were going through the same relationship troubles and choosing the wrong partner for the wrong reason. And Tolstoy delves into the psyche behind all of this in, the Anna Karenina book, where we've got the unhappy man, the people that got married. Now they've got kids. Now they're both unhappy in the marriage. And now the marriage is falling apart because the husband's having an affair. And this, that, and the other. And then we've got another guy who's like, this is Levin, who wants to be with Kitty. And of course, Levin is the quintessential nice guy. Everything is great about him, but he sparks no attraction in any woman that he comes across. So he immediately falls into the friend zone with every woman. And it's spelled out so well in Anna Karenina. And you're just like, yeah, every dude out there knows what that friend zone feels like, And Kitty just keeps parking this guy in a friend zone and going for the more dangerous dudes, And that's another plot that we're dealing with. And then our main plot, though, is Anna Karenina herself, who got married at a young age to this dude that was way older than her, like 20 years older than her, but he had a lot of money. And it's like, she traded her absolute stunning beauty for the resources of this old man. Like, she knew that if she married this old guy, that she would be, and her kids, whatever kids that she had with this guy, they would be set for life. And that's the way, I mean, society is back then, and it is the way it is now. I mean, it's the kind of the gold digger thing. It's like the women want, not all women. So some people marry for love. I mean, that's the thing that's part of the theme of this is some people do actually marry for love, but they're very far and few between. Most people marry for a lot of other reasons, and Anna Karenina married because she was beautiful. The richest dude wants beauty. I mean, he seeks out young beauty, young, fertile, beautiful, and he's way older than her, and he swoops in and marries her, and she's like, oh, well, he's got all the resources in the world. He's the richest guy. Why wouldn't I marry him? Because my life is set. But she doesn't love the guy. And the guy doesn't love her. He just treats her as another one of his trinkets, another one of his objects. That I own her now. She is my property, and that child that we have together. And but Anna Karenina goes to visit her brother in St. Petersburg, and so she's whisked off to St. Petersburg to visit her brother, who is the guy that's involved in the other unhappy marriage. Like he's the dude. He's stepping, and he's stepping, and he's having the affair with the governess on his wife, and so Anna goes to visit him. She meets the dashing cavalry soldier Vronsky, right? And now love is, and the first day she meets him, not only that, but she steps off the train, and he's kind of there to help her, with her luggage and stuff. And trains, another theme of the book, not to give any spoilers, but trains are another theme. Trains and the way they shuffle people back and forth through Russia is another sort of allegorical element to this. And Anna Karenina witnesses a very gruesome, bloody, disgusting death right there in the train station. As she steps off the train moves, and it just rolls over the top of a train worker, and just, that ain't pretty. That ain't gonna look nice. That's gonna leave a scar. That'll leave a mark. But the dude's deader than dead can be. He's the deadest guy under a train at the moment. And Anna Karenina is traumatized by it, but there's, this cavalryman Vronsky's right there to sort of comfort her, and then she's like just still a young woman with a little young boy, and then she's swept off into this adventure with Vronsky, where she falls in love with him because he's sparking all the feelies. He's the little butterflies. She never felt the butterflies for her rich sugar daddy, but now she got the butterflies for the dashing young cavalry guy. And, affairs gonna affair. Things gonna happen. Society, despite all of the horrible things that can happen to these people because of the Russian society and the affairs and the things that just all of the tragedy that can rain down upon them if they make these horrible choices in life, they still all make horrible choices in life, and they go ahead and have their affairs. And that's it. My God, it's just a soap opera. It's like it's the 1800s version of a Russian soap opera. You could turn on the TV. It was done in installments, and the Russian Messenger periodical, done in installments back in the day. People, it was like reading, it was like Days of Our Lives, for the people. It was like Santa Barbara, if you remember that old soap opera from the 90s, 80s. God, I don't even know when that was. But you know what I'm talking about, soap operas, right? Well, this is a soap opera. People were reading it like, oh my gosh, oh, affair after affair, oh, betrayal after betrayal, what's going to happen? And then it's like the people that were getting cheated on knew. They just, it was like everybody knows. It's like somehow everybody just knows that everybody else is having an affair, and everybody's just kind of whispering like, ooh, 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 ooh. But nobody ever dares say something to someone's face, right? Until the end, when all hell breaks busts. Our friend zone guy, here's the thing, what happens? Well, I don't give spoilers, you don't have to watch the movies or whatever. Actually, there's been a lot of movies made of Anna Karenina, and I'm going to tell you, every single one of them sucks. I won't tell you what it sucks. But you get it. You know what I'm talking about. There hasn't been one good film adaptation of this story ever, which is a shame. War and Peace, the BBC did a smashingly awesome job with War and Peace, but man, I mean, the semi-best one is the one with Sophia Marceau, who starred in Braveheart as the French princess. She plays Anna Karenina, and Sean Bean plays the dashing cavalryman. That one was okay. That was filmed in probably 1995 by Mel Gibson's Icon Productions. That one was okay. Still doesn't do the story justice. But oh my gosh, the rest of them are just dog shit. Don't even try. Don't even rent them. Don't even look at them. Don't even look at them. They'll burn your eyes, burn your retinas. Your eyeballs will drop right out of your head. And then you'll vomit. And then you want to kill yourself. So don't watch that crap. Just read the book. The book is good. I know it sounds boring, but it's not. If you really like novels where you get into the psychology of people and why they do what they do. I mean, reading Anna Karenina is just the same as reading like Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This really is. All of the stuff is discussed. You know, what happens with Anna Karenina's affair? No, I won't give spoiler. What happens with her marriage with the old man, the sugar daddy? I won't give a spoiler. But it all gets resolved. What happens with Vronsky, the cavalry guy? What happens with him? What happens with our married couple that's been married forever, they don't like each other? What happens to Kitty and Levin? You know, she put the dude in the friend zone. Does the dude ever climb out of the friend zone? Mystery upon mystery. The plots thicken, the plots thicken. The love triangles continue to triangle. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. I like it. I dig it. I dig Tolstoy. I just like it because everything not because the stories are, granted, War and Peace, the story is A+. Action, adventure, drama. Anna Karenina, we just get the drama. But I love the way he writes, and I love the way he gets into the minds of the characters and really delves into their psychology. I gave War and Peace. I won't tell you what I gave War and Peace because I want you to go watch that video because it's an awesome video. But I gave Anna Karenina a 9 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10, which is a high ranking for me. And that cover right there, man, that sums up the book. Russian people sitting on couches, discussing their feelings. It's not bad. And I ain't bad. It ain't bad, you know. That ain't bad.